Welcome to Everyman's Hustle. My name is Matt Ramage, and this is episode 7. We have Danny from Brazil, and she is an image consultant, and she works with individuals, helping them with their personal image, which helps with their branding, personal branding, and helps them in their careers and their profession. So stay tuned. Lots of great advice here, and thanks for listening.
All right. Welcome to the show, Danny.
Hi.
All right. Yeah, just a quick overview before we jump in. Danny and I are in a small group, which is part of a bigger group called Night Owl Nation, and we met, I guess it's been a few months now, 2 or 3 months.
December, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, December. And so, yeah, we meet weekly and we kind of work on our storytelling and share our experiences in business. And so, yeah, I thought she'd be a great person to have on the show. She is an image consultant. Is that correct? Image consultant. So she works with individuals to help them with, and I probably need some help. She works with individuals to help them with their kind of their image, and whether it comes to their beard and their glasses and the clothes they wear. And so, yeah, I'm excited to find out more about. Let's jump in. Why don't you give a brief overview of what's your elevator pitch when you tell people what you do for a living?
My elevator pitch. I have to practice these, especially in English. So my name is Daniane. I'm from Rio. And I'm like changing careers after the pandemic because before I was working with events and it was basically for like foreigners, like social events for expats. What else? But my first degree was with nutrition, and then I did business administration, nothing to do what I've been doing now. So with the pandemic, everything stopped. There was like a huge impact for the tourism and the events market. So I was following like my teacher, since a while ago, and then because of the pandemic, she started offering the courses that she used to have like in person, online. So my first one was the workshop for glasses, because it was always a difficult for me to choose the right glasses. A lot of times I was completely lost when I go to a store because I didn't know how to choose, and usually the vendors gives you only the most expensive ones, and then you arrive at home and like you don't recognize yourself when you see in the mirror, and glasses are not like clothes you can return because you have the lenses, right? So it was like very, how can I say, painful for me, an issue. So I did this workshop and I love it because it opened my eyes for this kind of visual communication, the appearance. And then I continue with the other courses. So I did like the facial analysis, the body analysis, and then the third course was about like for the hair, beard, for men design, eyebrow design, and of course clothing. So yeah, image consulting is to help the person to align your goals, can be like professional and personal goals, and align these to your appearance. What is the visual communication you are communicating? The message we all have, but we don't have the knowledge to translate these and to be in the same message. Sometimes you have your values or your attributes doesn't match the way you are showing yourself. So image consulting is to help you, to guide you how to make these two things aligned.
Okay. Awesome. I want to do something maybe a little different here. Let's say I was your client. So what's the process like? So you meet somebody, let's just say, yeah, let's use me. I run a small marketing agency in Los Angeles. So how do you start with somebody? Like let's say I want to work on my personal brand. I want more exposure, which is something actually I do want more exposure. And so, yeah, where do you start with somebody like me?
So we have like virtual meetings. in your case, right? Because we are far away. And
Right.
then you tell me, what are your objectives? What is your personal branding? What do you want to highlight in your appearance? What are the topics, let's say, of your personal branding you want to highlight in your appearance? And plus, I ask the person, what are the things that they don't like about your face, about your body, and what are the things you want to highlight? So it's like a puzzle. We
Okay.
put this kind of everything together, and then we translate these. Oh yeah, I don't like my large nose, for example. So what are kind of the glasses is going to emphasize this impression, this appearance of the large nose, and what are the glasses that are going to, how to say, minimize, to downsize this kind of impression that I have. And but I love my eyes, so it has to be like glasses, hair, beard, and clothing that how to say, embrace all your desires. I want to minimize my large nose and highlight my eyes.
Okay.
So it's very like specific, because when you see on internet those lists, oh, every man should have this kind of items in your wardrobe, but they don't analyze these specific details that is different in each person. So
Okay.
basically, the person tells me what he wants to highlight, what do you think they like, and what are the goals of the personal branding, let's say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Now, is this, since we are moving to a world where there's more kind of video, Zoom, and is it, that's a consideration as well for your business, and as far as in person or virtual? I noticed, like with your glasses, I feel like you have a less reflection than I do. And actually, these are newer glasses that I just got that I feel like you could see my eyes more now. Like with my older glasses, like I feel like I had more glare. But obviously, that's probably a consideration, right? You can't see the person's eyes. That's harder to connect. And
Yeah, and plus, with all these interactions we have, all this exposure we have through the cell phones and everything, TV as well, it's good to have the blue light protection in your glasses. So even the person who doesn't have any kind of visual issue in your eyes, it's good to have this kind of protection. And yes, like here, we never saw in person each other, but you only see like the face. So that's one of the things that we need to be very aware, everything we put on our face, because it doesn't matter if you change all your outfit, but if the message here is another one, because how do you know somebody's paying attention what you're saying? It's like the fundamental thing.
right. Yes.
Is eye contact. Plus, with the face, you have an idea how old is the person, like the gender, if the person's happy or not. What else? If they are open to start a conversation, if you're lost on the street and you want to ask for information, what kind of person you're gonna or approach? Is someone
Right.
who likes more friendly, more happy, or whatever. Other in the other hand, someone is very sad, like very angry. You try to like not to approach, right? You feel the distance, and when you are describing someone to a third person, you don't describe, oh, this person has like big feet or very narrow body or very long fingers. How you describe, if the person is not very tall, very short, or very thin, or very fat, you describe from, he has like blue eyes, dark hair, has a long beard, or he used like a red glasses. So the face is the most important thing in our appearance,
Okay.
especially with the visual
Yeah.
interaction.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I know from as far as like sales too, it's so important to obviously look presentable, but when you're meeting a client, whether it's on video or in person, their person you're meeting is sizing you up just in seconds. So yeah, if you show up to a meeting and you're your shirt's wrinkled or whatever, your hair is kind of a mess, and that could definitely cost you a sale. So are some of the people you work with, are they in sales at all, or?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe
Okay.
there is one. She's a nurse, but she wants to open like a store. So yeah, just basically sales.
Okay. Yeah.
But even though we don't work like directly on sales, we are selling our image, our
Yes.
ideas, or the things we believe, or even asking somebody to do something, a favor to you. We are selling our.
Yeah. That's so important. It's important to remember that some people are like, well, I'm not a salesperson, but everybody is a salesperson to some extent.
It's funny because
Whatever.
in the marketing, as you work in the marketing, you use so many, like I think all the time in everything in marketing, you use the visual language, design, the elements in the design. When you are like creating a website, why you choose this type of the letter, why you choose this kind of color, why use the layout, or why use the music. And so why we don't translate this in our own appearance? Why like wasting? Because everything in our marketing, there's a strategy behind. But if we don't think like this to our appearance, we just go by aesthetic or like financial things. So for me, it's kind of like a waste not to use all these tools that a marketing uses so well. Oh no.
Yes. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So is this field a new and emerging field, or I hadn't really heard of it as far as when you told me what you did, I was like, it was definitely something, yeah, it's not like super common, but is it relatively newer industry?
Yeah, especially here in Brazil, it is. I think in
Mm-hmm.
US it started a little bit before, but it still is not very popular. Very few people know what is an image consulting is. Usually people think this is related to style. Oh, she's gonna change my style, or she works in fashion, or she knows what's the latest fashion trend, but it doesn't matter what is like the latest fashion trend if you don't feel comfortable wearing this, and if it doesn't be benefit no gives like advantage or be gives same kind of benefit to yourself. So you of course you can use, but you need to be aware that this is not gonna benefit you, but it's like how can I say, you're not doing like randomly, right?
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
It's just like
So,
when someone there is diabetes and still eating sugar, but he knows he's gonna be bad the next day or next few hours, but he knows at
right.
least. And regarding clothes, sometimes we don't know.
So that's interesting. So I was thinking it would be more, so the style or the clothes is not as important. So it's not like you have to go out and get a whole new wardrobe. It's what you're comfortable wearing and how
Mhm.
everything fits together.
And sometimes you don't even need to go shopping, do some adjustments and the combinations of clothes. Sometimes even putting your hair to one side to another side is totally different because we are asymmetric. Each side of our face is different. So it's not about shopping. I think it's a tool of self-knowledge and self-conscious. What a kind of image you are, the message behind your facial traits and your body, what is behind of these the archetypes. I don't know if you've heard. Maybe yes, because you work with marketing. So knowing these, what kind of message there is, you can balance, you can manage, you can emulate. Once somebody told me, but so you manipulate people. I got so pissed because I thought he was like an offense to my work, to my job. But nowadays I'm thankful that he told me this, because probably other people think the same, and it's my duty to explain to the person that it's not manipulation, because we can think marketing is a manipulation of the product, the publicity. When you put a music in a movie, can be a manipulation because you are directing someone to have this kind of emotion on a movie. So everything can be manipulated. So why not manipulating our own benefit?
Yeah.
Since you don't have, I think, a second agenda, and not something illegal or immoral, why not? To emphasize what you want.
Right. I
Because
agree.
the image consulting is not to make a different character, make Matt another Matt, someone that is not Matt. But no, is to bring the genuine attributes that a Matt has that maybe are like hidden, or when the famous first impressions, it's not possible for the someone who meets you for the first time can see, can notice, because all their attributes are so strong in your image that hides, or how can I say, stands out, instead of the other attributes that you want to emphasize for this particular situation, for this meeting of this with this client. But it's still Matt. We are just like emulate what kind of characteristics you're gonna highlight in this kind of situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how do you typically, does somebody hire you for a couple sessions, or how does it typically, what's it like an engagement look like for working with you?
Usually we have a first meeting, it's like a talk for me to understand, to get to know better the person, and then he send like photos of the face, and then I do the analysis, and I create like a lookbook, let's say like a guide, a PDF file with all the analysis explaining, and with a lot of photos, for example, for the glasses, the type of glasses he should avoid, because it has a completely different image message that he or she doesn't want. And all the examples, all the like with colors, texture, materials, and shapes, that is gonna be beneficial, I'd say, for the
Yeah, benefits
person.
you.
So usually like 2 meetings, and plus I send this PDF with a lot of details, because I think as people don't know about this business, I think they are not they don't know what to expect with the PDF file. So usually
Right.
they say, "Wow, I could never imagine it could be so much information, so many details." So usually I receive feedback from these. But as you said, my first obstacle is like not to convince, but for the person to understand the value of the image consult, because usually people think it's just for celebrities, or because I don't work in front of cameras, I don't need to care about, especially men's. I think they
Okay.
have this kind of prejudice, I would say. I think it's changing, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's interesting. So how, like right now with your business, I see that you're very active on Instagram. Are you reaching out to people to solicit business, or people just coming to you, or yeah, how are you going about getting clients right now for your business?
The last client that I had, it was because I participated in an event, online event, that a former client invited me to talk about. It was a university. She works for a university, online education, so it's more about health professionals. So I was talking about the image for this kind of public, and I did like a raffle for a person to have a mini consultancy, and she wrote like a good review on the WhatsApp groups, and somebody
Okay.
else saw it, and she was interested because she also wear glasses, and she was gonna open this store, so she wanted to do some image to enhance the image for this. But usually people who hires me, they are more worried about professional issues, oh, I have some kind of, people always think I'm very young, they don't believe me, I don't have the credibility, especially girls who looks much younger than the age. It's hard to get this kind of credibility, especially if they work with men. So usually to overcome these obstacles in professional things, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I could see how just working with you could help somebody move up the organization, get promoted. If like you said, some ladies, if their bosses or people around the company aren't taking her seriously because maybe she's dressing like she looks younger, with some work with you and a few changes, then it's like she looks more professional, and that could really change her career trajectory, right?
And also for the sales team, imagine if you are like aligning your image for the vendors or your sales force. Yeah. Or one of my dreams is to work with glasses stores, for the vendors in the glasses stores can give like good advice, because I would hire someone when I was like in the past, when I'm like choosing glasses, if they have this kind of small consulting there to choose, to help to guide me how to choose better glasses that I won't regret when I go home. I'll be queen to pay a little bit more, because glasses is like can be a huge investment that you cannot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, super. Yeah, that's really important. What are you? Is your demographic of people that you work with, or do they all speak? What language is it?
Mostly in Portuguese, but
Portuguese.
I'm not like narrow on these. My
Okay.
dream is also like to have international clients. And once I have a guy, he's Swedish and he was living in London. Yeah.
Okay.
This is why I keep putting the caption in
Oh
English,
yes.
so I can target. And English is more universal language. Yeah. And also to
Okay.
practice, because everything that I studied, most of the books and the articles that I read is in Portuguese. It's also for me a training to be talking what I do in English, because it's
English.
different.
Yeah, and it helps you speaking it. Definitely help cement that knowledge in even more.
Yeah, and it's not my mother language, right? So it's like also our English practicing for me for my life.
Awesome. Awesome. So you talked briefly about you eventually would love to be international. So maybe can you speak more to where where are you headed with this business? Do you see yourself where do you see yourself in a year or 2 years?
I don't have this kind of limitations of clients, and like learning a language is not about grammar and exercise things like these, or how to write something, but also to learn, because you are involved with other cultures. That's why I love like the Night Owl Nations. You learn so much. But yes, I'd love to have clients all over the globe, because sometimes I live in Rio. It's a very warm and hot city. It's an exercise for me, for my mind, to be more creative. Oh, this person wants to give this, to send this kind of message with the visual, but it's like snowing there, which is not in my radar, right? The type of clothes, the type of style. So it's also like a practicing for me. So yes, I think I have more experience with different people who lives like in different like atmospheres, different countries, or so yeah, I would love to. A learning process.
Awesome. One of the questions I typically ask guests on the show is what advice do you have to somebody who's thinking about starting their own business? Like, what would you say to them if they're on the fence? What advice would you tell them?
Like, we can only give advice for the things that we know or we have been through, right? So the advice is to, can be like cliche, but I love what I do much more, like everything I've done in life. And I think sometimes when I'm studying or working, it doesn't feel like you're really working. It's like the fulfillment that we have the joy of doing this and to have a purpose behind. You're helping someone to feel more comfortable with your own image, because it was something that happened to me. I think I told you, right? The bullying that I suffer all my life because I was always different. And now I'm much more confident and much more comfortable. So I would love that somebody would have this kind of same feeling and not be like shy because the way they look. No, you can emphasize these and you can have some kind of advantage, because with Light Out Nations, I realized that I got so pissed, I got so mad when someone tells me, oh, you're Japanese, or doing these kind of things to me. But I didn't get offended when I'm like, when I need to go, let's say, to the bathroom and I'm walking the street and I can get into a hotel and nobody disturbs me. Nobody thinks I'm not like a guest in the hotel. They let me into any kind of hotels, or all my clients, they paid me in advance. Have you seen these kind of things? They pay like 100% in advance. I never see this in my life, because usually when you hire something, you only pay like maybe half or 50%, or and then the other half, or the but why? Because of my heritage, the way I look. The Japanese, they have a message behind being Japanese that everyone in the world, they can recognize these. They don't think Japanese people is going to rob you. They think they are super honest, super intelligent, super organized. So why not getting offended when someone gives this credibility, even though they don't know me very well? So I have to be comfortable even in the negative things that happens to me and the positive things, because nothing in life can be 100% the way we want, only the positive. This makes me feel like why I feel so uncomfortable being different here in Brazil, in Rio. If I do have some kind of situations that I feel like sometimes I take for granted, I don't give the value, and I only see the ones that I get so mad. So yes, I think one should be comfortable and confident with the image. And of course, there are things can guide you to have this feeling, like a genuine feeling of this. So yeah, doing a business that you feel comfortable. And yeah, I would say it's kind of cliche, but something that's related to your storytelling, the way you are, I think is path for being this feeling of fulfillment and the success, right?
Yeah, the way you are, right? For sure. Yeah, and doing what you love, and it's interesting though to tie in what you do and too, and doing what you love, but also feeling confident in the way you're presenting yourself, how those kind of go in together, and yeah, you might be dressed a certain way, but we've talked recently on Night Owl with we're being programmed to maybe dress a certain way, act a certain way, but is that the real you? And I like what you're doing. It sounds like you're trying to help the person become more of the real them,
Yeah, it's like the website you create for a client, for a product, for a service would be the appearance of someone. You're not lying when you're creating a website. So you're not lying when you be careful what type of the glasses I'm wearing, why it's this color, why it's like a rectangle and not a triangle, or whatever it is, or rounded. It's completely different. So I don't think it's, how can I say, silly or superficial, because we take care so much in certain cases for the visual and not about yourselves. It's like a contradiction, right? Yeah. And I agree that is an obstacle to tell people, to inform what I do, because we have this kind of prejudice. Oh, this is silly, this is not important, right? I don't have time for this. I don't want to waste money buying clothes.
Right.
You are worried about how it's going to be your business card. You spend a lot to the layout of your business card. But when you present in person in like this, like we are here, you don't mind.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. The people will spend money on other things, but not on their personal appearance. So yeah, definitely a lot of food for thought. I'm going to be thinking more about this over the next few days.
Yeah. It's good to plant like a seed in someone's mind to something that I've never thought about it, or a new concept. And it's something that I really, another like advice would be, you have really to believe what you do. That everything that you're offering has the value. For
Yeah,
yourself, has to be your first client, right?
right. Yep.
And I
And
also go.
oh yeah, just yourself as the first client, and also believing in what you do. And yeah, it's like you can't, if you don't believe in your own product or what you're selling, it's nobody's going to buy from you.
Yeah, it's gonna be fake. And another thing is not just to, I would say, not to study the concepts of you regarding your business, but to take a look around the other things that can help you, like the storytelling, for example, we're doing, the non-verbal communication or personal skills for marketing, not study only marketing, but studying the other topics that surround marketing to help your business. I think you are more, I would say, have a more overview of your business, and of course, it's going to help you, not just in business, but as a person, because as Sun says, your brand is your personality. Now you are your brand.
Yeah, so treat it well. Awesome. So I think I asked you, you do not currently have a website, right?
Not
Okay,
yet.
is that something you're gonna work on, or?
The future, yes, I would
Uh-huh.
like to have. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, or even something like a simple landing page with some more information. So what do you, right now, if people reach out and they ask for, is there something you send them, or if they want more information, or?
Usually it's in the Instagram and talking, like
Okay, yeah,
networking. Yeah.
right. Okay, got it. Got it. Awesome. We'll have to check in with you maybe in a few months or later this year and get an update on your business and see how it's going. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Pleasure.
this is a fascinating topic. So thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for inviting me, the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'll have a link underneath as well to your Instagram account so people can follow you and learn more
Awesome.
from you online. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Bye. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.